Hi, I'm Peter Charles of Hooked for Life Eye Fishing, and I'm out today with a brand new G.Loomis rod. It's the IMX-PRO ShortSpey. It's 11 foot 11 inches long, and it comes from 3 weight to 7 weight. I have the 7 weight with me today, and I've got some footage I'll show you in a few minutes of me fishing this rod. Now, I found out while I was out there that it could handle a broad range of lines. I used anywhere from a Rage 390 upwards to a Rage 450, and I could barely tell the difference. And they handled all those lines like it was the same line. I mean, they all went the same distance. It also had a great fishing range, anywhere from really in close and tight all the way out to around about 100 feet. And what's more important about that 100-foot cast is that it didn't have to work to do it. It was nice and easy. I just stroked it and away it went. This rod will not make you work hard. It really, really does reduce fishing effort. It's very light and it throws a lovely loop. So let's have a look at how it worked out.
Okay, I'm out here with the IMX-PRO 11 foot 11 inch 7 weight. I've got an Airflo 390 Rage head on it, and a salmon steelhead polyleader, fasting polyleader, plus about 6-7 foot of fluorocarbon and a tube fly. And this is my first opportunity to cast the 7 weight, and I just want to see what it's going to do. I figured the 390 would work just fine for me. I prefer a bit of a lighter load on a rod, and it's flying real nice. Okay, for those people who fish a short line in smaller creeks, I'm just going to work this. I've got, I don't know, 4 or 5 feet of the Rage head in the guides. Just make a little short cast. You can see it turns it over lovely, nice loop shape, no trouble turning over the fly. And I've got a 10-foot polyleader plus 6-7 foot of fluorocarbon and a tube fly on the end. A bit of a bulky one. Boom, straight over, no problem. Let's pull a little bit more in. I'll pull the back of the head right up to my hand. There we go. It's right up to my hand. There we go, bingo. Okay, you can see I'm casting towards an island. I'm not too far away, so this is not big casts. And I've got that Rage 450 on now, with that extra super fast sinking polyleader, steelhead salmon variety, and a copper tube fly. And it's just, even in these short range casts, it's just popping it over nicely. Basically, between the 390, the 420, and the 450 Rage heads, I'm casting about the same distance, using roughly the same effort. The only significant difference is that the heavier heads feel a bit heavier on the cast, but just a little bit heavier. Not a lot difference. And they're going just as far. Each one, the 390 and the 450, are going about the same distance. I'm casting the same rig on the 390 as I am now on the 450. You heard that come up against the reel. And I've got over 40 feet of running line off, so I'm around 90 feet right now. Just laying everything over dead straight. So really it's just a matter of what kind of feel you like on the rod. 450 will be a little heavier. The 390 will be a little lighter. And of course, if you're casting a really big ugly fly, you might want the 450. If the wind was up, you might want the 450. But if you're looking a little bit more of a finesse presentation, then maybe the 390 is the way to go. Or the 420 if you want to split the difference. Isn't it nice to have that kind of choice?
Hi, I'm out with the Rage 480 right now. I've got a fasting polyleader on it, and we're going to give it a try. It's to see how far I can push the rod and it still feels comfortable. We've worked with 390, 420, 450, now the 480. Let's see how it works out. Okay, just trying some short range casts, and as you would expect with the heavier line, the short range stuff is fine. No problem at all. Goes straight out, and being a 480, it turns over that polyleader like it's nothing. I've just got an average wet fly on the end of it, typical steelhead wet. So far I've been able to cast a 390, a 420, a 450. Now the 480 is going real nice. The rod has tremendous latitude. Boom. And I'm not working hard. I'm beginning to think I could put a 510 on here and it would still work. I mean, that's what you want in a rod. You don't want a fussy rod that, you know, you got to hit it bang on or it doesn't work right. And I've seen rods like that. I've had clients bring them to me. It's really nice to have a rod where you don't have to sweat it. You just put anything on within reason and it works just like that. I'm not having to make any adjustments to my casting stroke. I'm just stroking it out there and it's going. Easy peasy. I mean, this rod is only 11 foot 11 inches long. It's just a bit bigger than the average switch rod. And yet it's just sailing them out there like it's a good foot longer than it actually is. And I'm not working. So think about that. I'm doing 100 with the 390, 100 with the 420, 100 with the 450, and now I'm doing 100 with the 480. It really doesn't make much difference in terms of casting effort. There we go. Boom. I've got the Airflo 510 Skagit switch line on it. I would prefer, frankly, the regular length Skagit head. But so many people are using short heads these days that I figured I'd try the rod with the Skagit switch, which is around 20 feet long, to get a better feel of how this rod will handle the heads that, you know, is in common usage today. And it handles it lovely. As you can hear by that boom when it goes out. It's going out with authority. Just using a downstream Perry poke here. Boom. I love that boom. Okay, now I have the Airflo Compact Skagit in a 540. I have a Airflo FLO-tip in a T7 and a fairly bulky fly. And we're going to give that a whirl and see how well it does. I was out earlier with the 510 in the Skagit switch version. So this is a longer one. This is about 25 foot long. The other one was 20. So I've got a longer head and it's a heavier head, and we'll see how well the rod manages with it. Now that's interesting. That was just a short cast, but I don't really feel the weight on this thing. I mean, it just goes. Just like the Rage 480. It doesn't feel heavy, despite the fact I'm probably heavier than recommended. In fact, I know I'm heavier than recommended. I'm just sort of gently lobbing them out there. So as you can see, even the 540 is going fine. No problems at all. Boom. You know, when your rod can only handle one line weight well, and any other weight of line, you know, is reduced effectiveness, you can be hamstrung if, you know, conditions change, or if you want to use something bigger or heavier in the way of a sink tip or a fly. But having a rod that doesn't matter what you use on it, boom, it makes life easy for you. Okay, now I'm out with the Airflo Delta 2 in the 7/8 version. It's 51 foot long, 530 grains, and this will be the long line choice for this rod. So we'll see how it works. Okay, with a modest amount of line out, it's very light casting, yet it still turns over the leader and fly without any trouble. Still makes a nice loop, so short range, boom, everything's fine. Feels very light in the rod at this range, but it's still throwing a nice loop. And I'm not having to push it, which is the main thing. when a line is too light for a rod, the trouble is you have to push it to make it work. And there's no pushing going on here, even with a short amount of line out. It just goes. So this head is 530 grains. I've got the rear taper closer to the tip now, and it's felt quite light on the last casts. Let's see how it feels in this one. Oh yeah. So you can see the rod will handle quite a range of lines. I've had a 540 Compact Skagit on it, a 480 Rage, now the Delta 278. It's handling them all, no trouble. So you have a lot of fishing possibilities with this rod. For a little rod that's only 11 foot 11 inches long, that's hucking a lot of line out there. That's doing a wonderful job.